So I couldn't find any maximum efficiency mole guides for a max setup. I saw Zulu's guide, but it was not really for max efficiency. He was just making it kind of for fun, and his method had, according to him, way less kills than I was getting. So I wanted to make a guide on the method that I was using and how I've been killing giant mole recently. So obviously, as you can see from the setup, this is a high-level method. If you do not have maximum gear, you will have significantly lower results. Just for comparison to Darok's, the Twisted Bow Max Gear method, here you can see in the DPS chart, you will see that your damage per second is 7.5 damage per second versus 5.9. Now this is 1 HP Darok, Max Gear, and Inferno Cape. If you have a Fire Cape, it's going to be around 5.7 or so. Also, if you look at your cannon accuracy, you will have 63.2% versus the 56.5%. This does matter because you will be using a cannon for this method. Also, to compare to the Elite Void Knight armor, you will see that the Armadillo armor is also significantly better. While the damage per second is not too different, so you do get additional prayer bonus without losing too much damage per second, your cannon accuracy does go down significantly, and you will have pretty much 52% cannon accuracy versus the 63%. So your damage per second will be lower, and I do believe the cannon is worth bringing, so you should definitely stick with using full Armadillo if you can. If you spent your entire bank on a Twisted Bow, then you can go and downgrade to full Void and do it for a while until you can afford full Armadillo. Now to get on with the gear, or the inventory setup. Since the gear should be self-explanatory as it is maximum range gear, and you could downgrade whatever you don't have, or you can just use full Darox and use a rather similar inventory and setup. So starting from the bottom, you will want a light source. I do have my Max Cape as my light source and my teleport out for banking. So I do not actually bring it, but I just have it in my inventory for this. You will want some cannonballs. You do not waste too many cannonballs doing this. I have done almost 1,000 kill count, and I have done probably around 5,000 or so cannonballs at maximum. I have my Faldor Shield. You will need at least a Faldor Shield 3. If you do not have Faldor Shield 3, then you should not be doing Giant Mole. Bonecrusher is simply something I choose to bring. You do not need to bring it, but I do want to because why not? I have the inventory for it. You need a spade because that is how you access the layer. You can drop your spade if you do not have inventory space because it's not really worth anything anyway, and you could probably just buy a ton of spades and keep them in your bank. And then you'll want a rune pouch. Now I bring this for alchemy. Giant Mole drops occasional rune drops, as well as mithril plate bodies, adamant longswords, and I even out the strength amulets because it's not like you waste any time picking them up, as you will be picking up the mole skin and the mole claw regardless. I also have blood runes in here. This is simply because the giant mole drops blood runes, 15 blood runes pretty often, and now with the recent update they will go into your rune pouch immediately, and it is just a way to save an inventory slot by keeping it in your rune pouch. Then we also have our Dwarf multi-cannon. You will bring this simply for faster kill count. You will be able to get around just over 75 kill count per hour, which is what I've been getting. I got 78 the last hour that I recorded. Sometimes you may get a little less, sometimes a little more, but you should definitely be getting at least 70 kill count at absolute worst case. As for the amount of potions I bring a 1-to-1 ratio with ranging potions and stamina potions. For prayer potions, this is completely optional. If you can prayer flick very well and only intend to prayer flick, you don't even need a single potion. You could bring one just in case. Your Faldor Shield also gives you a prayer recharge once a day or twice per day if you have the Elite 4 done. However, if you cannot prayer flick at all, and I mean one-tick flicking, not just like single flicking per shot, and this is because when you have rigor activated, your cannon accuracy increases as well, so you don't want to be doing just like for the 2-tick flick for when you do attack. You want to actually be flicking the entire time doing 1-tick flicking. I choose to bring 6 potions. I will usually only end up using 4 because I am not great at flicking, and sometimes I also just don't feel like flicking in the first place. For your quick prayers, if you will be flicking Mole, you will want Rigor and Protect from Melee. I do not use Preserve because if you're flicking quick prayers, it does absolutely nothing. And if you are not flicking quick prayers, you probably don't have enough inventory space to fit all those prayer potions anyway. So I don't bring Preserve, and you don't really need it because you have a 1-to-1 ratio. I repot every time that my range level reaches 108, which is pretty much every 4 levels, and I would suggest you do the same. This will usually give you a 1-to-1 ratio with your stamina to ranging potion. Sometimes you can repot earlier or later based on how your stamina supplies are going, because your staminas will be limiting your trip. So once you are ready to kill the giant mole, you can teleport to your house or whatever way you plan to get there. And I do the Ring of Wealth teleport with to the Valdor Park, which will teleport you straight to the mole lair. Any of these holes will do. And just dig down, and you are at Giant Mole. So the Valdor Shield will instantly tell you which way to run towards the mole, and you will have to find yourself a world. Likely this world was already taken while I was not here. So let's go find a world, unless this one is actually available, which it looks like it is. So you can either finish off the mole kill right now wherever it's located, or you can just choose to set up your cannon first. I will set up my cannon. So this is going to be the spot you want to set up your cannon. The best way to tell is this will be your safe spot where you will be standing. And over here, you will be setting up your cannon. You could tell because this is the first spot where you have 2 rocks. You see this one has 2 rocks, and then that one. But these only have 1 rock up, and then this is 2 rocks up. So set up your cannon right over here. Set up your cannon for firing, and luckily Mole has gone back to where it spawns, so I'll be able to run back to the normal spot. Over here, Mole will be trapped, and you will either want to keep Rigor on or Pray Flick Rigor. I just Pray Flick the quick prayers because with having Protect from Melee on there as well, I know when I'm messing up, as I am still in the learning phase. So this will be how you'll end up killing Mole. It is very quick. Very often you will actually end up getting these kills. Well, I wouldn't say too often. I'd say around 25% of your kills will be completed without him being able to dig by doing this method, and this is why it's so fast. Here we go. Run back. You want to make sure you stand exactly over here. This is because this cannon placement allows the cannon to hit twice. And if the cannon does end up shooting him twice and he digs because of the cannon, he might dig again. As the second hit splat would appear after he already spawns. So now it's simply going to be playing tag with the mole. The nice thing about range is you can shoot it from a distance. You don't have to run all the way up to mole, and you can start killing him while he is not next to you. So you save a bit of stamina potion. You don't need to use much stamina potion as someone with Darox. As I've said, if you are using Darox, you will need more stamina potions than someone with using a Twisted Bow. You will also probably need more prayer potions, as you might not be willing to flick the giant mole as much, simply because it's pretty dangerous. One mess up and you die. And this is all that there is to it. The giant mole will not dig for its first half of its HP. It will only dig on its second half after it's reached below 100. Here we go, another quick kill. Hopefully it doesn't dig. Oh, whoops, I messed up. And there you go. That's another dead mole. So that's pretty much all you need to know for how to do giant mole the most efficient way, 75 kills an hour. This exact setup lets you stay on mole a little bit over an hour, and you will profit roughly 1.5 or 1.6 mil after deducting supply costs. I use amethyst arrows. I do not believe dragon are worth it. I know in Zulu's guide he used dragon, but I'm not exclusively pet hunting. I'm hoping to make some money and rebuild from spending my bank on Twisted Bow. So I would not advise using dragon arrows. If you are some rich staker who doesn't care, then by all means go for it. But I do not intend to do that. So having said that, thanks for watching. Hope you found this useful. and good luck on your giant mole pet. Which, in addition, I do want to point out, would take you roughly 40 hours under a perfect drop rate. Doing 75 kills an hour, 1 in 3,000 drop rate, you should expect it to take you around exactly 40 hours. However, you might be unlucky. So this is definitely one of the faster pets to acquire if you are interested in pet hunting, and even faster if you're willing to blow some money on dragon arrows. You'll still probably profit, but nowhere nearly as much.